You're about to watch a podcast with myself and Kuralay Assainova. I've met many entrepreneurs, but I've never met an entrepreneur like this. Her list of accomplishments are just too long for this intro, but she has an agency. She's been in the digital marketing space for over 10 years, and she's just accomplished some amazing things in her career. And in this podcast, we go over personal branding, content marketing, and a little bit more. Enjoy. Thank you so much for making the time. I absolutely love your content. You're always giving away like tons of value, but with lots of entertainment. I really love that. And I see you just traveling all over, hosting at conferences, and you even met the SEO legend, Neil Patel. So yeah, I'm curious to know, tell me, what is the weirdest job you've ever had to do on this level in this industry?
All right, thank you, Bradley, first of all, for inviting me. Pleasure meeting you here. Definitely. Marketing is a very interesting industry, and I've been here for almost over 10 years now. And just recently, when I came to Dubai for the business trip, I met also Neil Patel in person. And as you know, he's a big marketing guru. It was very exciting and insightful. In terms of the weirdest jobs, before starting my own company, I was employed with few companies. I had 2 jobs in Malaysia. I had one short-term job in Kazakhstan. I had 2 jobs in Dubai, and that was over a period of 10 years. So I didn't really change much jobs. And then when I started my business, almost 2 years ago now. So basically, we have different projects. But in terms of the job, in terms of employment, the weirdest one was back in Kazakhstan when I had an interim job when I didn't know where to go, which country to go after my graduation. And after coming back from Malaysia where I studied, I happened to be employed by this company, which is one of the biggest construction companies there, privately owned. And I was working directly for the president of the company, who was truly the person who was traveling the world like every 5 hours. So I was booking his private jets, booking his meetings for the president of the country, arranging all the, setting up all the invitations, and would personally go to the White House of the president of the country to deliver, different kind of things, invitations for the events. It was interesting job in that way, and the weirdest as well, because this is not your usual 9 to 5,
Yeah.
And it was interesting and also weirdest because it was not really comfortable for me to do an admin job. Coming from the, doing internships and working with the startups in Malaysia, although I studied business, and I always was craving for a more creative type of job. And that's when I realized that admin job is not for me. And definitely wanted to go into the marketing. And that's when I also moved to Dubai, where the scene, is very multinational. It's global brands here. Things move very fast in terms of business and economics. And that's where I started my ground within my expertise in marketing on the international level.
Oh, that's amazing. And working for this billionaire, I think I saw you make a post about it, saying that there was a stage he wanted you to learn Italian and you didn't like Italian at all, but then you ended up marrying an Italian man. Is that true?
Yeah, life has its ways. It's a very weird, it has its own ways. It's very weird how it works out in the end. So at the moment, coming back from the university in Malaysia, I had lots of Spanish-speaking friends, and I loved Spanish, and I still love it more than Italian.
Oh, man!
and I was studying Spanish, so it was sort of, conversational in Spanish. And doing this job for some time, my boss back then, he was saying like, you have high potentials of going to HQ in Lugano, transferring to Switzerland for work, but you need to know Italian because that's what they speak there, and you can't go with if you don't know. So I was like, oh, damn it, if I need to be promoted and to learn Italian, and I was like, okay, and I started forcing myself to learn Italian, but I dropped it because it was not enjoyable. And years later in Dubai, I meet my husband, who is Italian, and
crazy.
COVID goes, and I had to learn Italian.
That's so crazy how life just works out. And I see you specialize a lot in personal branding. Tell me and tell the audience, what is personal branding and why is it so important for professionals today?
Oh, I love that question. Thank you, Bradley, for asking. I love talking about personal branding. I did a couple of workshops on it, and I'm now parallelly working on the different project, which is creating a course specified on personal branding. Nice. So hopefully it will come out soon. I need to announce the date. It is personal branding is it's basically a concept of a brand of everything that you as a person stand for. So, for example, your hobbies, your expertise, your values, your life values, how you spend your day, where you put your focus on. So that always comprises a personal brand. So usually when we talk about branding, we talk about corporate branding, we talk about McDonald's, we talk about Apple, we talk about, all those big brands. That's where we look up for an ideal scenario of branding. But in reality, even those brands, they have their own personality. So marketeers on a big scale, those marketeers who work with Apple, ad agencies, marketing agencies, big ones, they try to personify the brands as much as possible. Now, personal brand is something you already given. You, Bradley, have your own personal brand. Your wife has a personal brand. I have my personal brand, and it's just a matter of developing it. So who is focusing more on developing their own personal brand? Take, for example, Nelson Mandela. He had his own personal brand, which is still living up till today. His words, his values that he stood for, and it made a huge impact, right? That's why it is important. Your personal brand, your values you stand for will make a huge impact on lives of others and also on your business. So if you're looking to build your personal brand in line with your business brand, like I'm doing right now, I have my personal brand, which I started earlier before I started my company. Yeah. I'm doing coaching. I help people. I basically share this valuable information through social media channels, trying to become also an expert in marketing online. Yeah. And I now have my marketing agency, which goes along very well because when people trust people, and that's 92% of people will trust more people than a brand. When they see through the people's eyes first, and then they basically trust the brand as well, and they go through this qualification basically stage when you try to market to people, to sell anything. That's one, it helps. Second, of course, making an impact of other people's lives. Yes. So meeting Neil Patel, right? It was so impactful for me and for other people who were in there. Mm-hmm. And it was crazy hype. When he was about to go on a stage, I remember it's like the room became suddenly so crowded. And when he came off the stage, it was a huge double line, and I made sure I was first there.
I see you got a selfie with Neil.
I'm sure he doesn't remember any of this, but he truly makes an impact on all of us as marketeers, as business people, because he himself worked for past 15, 20 years, a lot on his personal brand. He realized it early on when he was just starting his own businesses. And in fact, his first business was blogging. And that's where he was blogging about SEO and digital marketing. And he was doing it by himself. And he was putting his name out there as an expert. Now, even more, he's focusing on this with his whole team. And he's focusing on him again as an expert. Yeah. They do a lot of videos. They post almost twice a day. And that also helps him to close the deals for the NP Digital, which is his global marketing agency.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And what makes it tricky especially with personal branding is adapting to creating good content. So what would you say if you could share some really effective strategies for creating content that resonates with your target audience? What would it be?
Yeah, so it's for the content creation, you need to really test a lot of things, and you need to keep on trying different formats. At the same time, the situation globally evolves in terms of the formats, in terms of what people like, trends on daily basis. So you need to keep up with that as well, always. Yeah. For myself, my personal brand is Kuralay Assainova, marketing industry expert. I try to focus on target audience such as business owners in the UAE, Middle East, as well as the global specific countries. And for the brands directly as well, so SMEs and enterprise level, usually for the brands specifically, those that are in a stage of growth, so they want to expand or they want to enter new markets. So consultancy basis. So this is my primarily focus. Other than that, I also focus on the people who want to learn marketing. So that's my target audience. And how I reach out to them. First things first, you need to, of course, understand what they want. Because those three categories of target audience that I mentioned, they're all different. They have different needs, and the approach to talk to them is different. That's why I tried a lot of new things, and you can see maybe my content is a bit different for everyone. So I have entertainment content, and lately I try to put more of the personal stories, personal lifestyle kind of content, because even the CEO of biggest hedge fund is interested in tennis. So I would post something about tennis as well, because that's also my passion, and that passion will connect basically through social media. We'll take an example of Instagram, which is a lot about likes and interests. Yeah. So it's interest-based platform. You want to enter the customer segment with the interest that they prefer. Other than that, you also want to always share very specific information in your video. So your video should not be super generic. It has to be more niche down and specific. And then you can have like hundreds of those videos in different niches for different specific target audience.
Yeah, definitely. And what would you say now, especially now 2024 and moving into 2025, are the best platforms to use when it comes to, posting and content creation?
So in the latest events, for example, like Marketing Mania as well, and online, a lot of people talk about AI, right? So AI is the tool that will help you to be on multiple platforms. And there's no such thing as the best platform. It also depends a lot on the industry, on the target audience you have. So you have to go on the platform and be present as much as possible there where your audience is already. Maximize there. But I think nowadays you have to, as attention span goes, everybody is pretty much on all the platforms. You need to be on all the platforms as much as possible, posting on daily basis. For example, if we're talking about personal brand, right? So for example, personal brand, daily basis. And AI will help you a lot with this. So taking an example of long form videos like this one, for example, you might use different tools like vid.io. You can use CapCut Pro that also has AI features to cut the long form videos into the short segments and help you to post it and schedule it as well. So you need to maximize the force of AI tools. And also, I think it's very important, like also Neil Patel said, highlights, is to use YouTube as much as possible. So me and you are already on YouTube and we're trying to build our channels and grow it. It's very useful. Why? Because it's owned by Google and it helps you with your SEO ranking, backlinks and everything. So you want to be on Google a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
You want to do YouTube for sure.
Yeah, and diversify yourself to all platforms. And it's so funny because I think it was actually Neil Patel that said YouTube is like his main priority right now. And what is your thoughts on LinkedIn? Because LinkedIn is such a different platform than all the other platforms out there.
Yeah, so YouTube is for sure. LinkedIn is one of the also maybe underrated so far yet platforms for just brands, like consumer brands. We're talking about beauty brands, maybe personal brands, but in reality, it's one of the strongest because it's underlooked and you have higher attention span there. When you post something, it will live longer on LinkedIn. Yeah. It's not Instagram, which is maximum maybe a couple of hours, 24 hours if you're lucky, and it's gonna live longer. It will be seen by more people. Why? Simply because if you have noticed, you receive notifications of people posting something, articles, for example, it goes directly into the inbox on LinkedIn and email as well. So it's very useful tool in terms of attention. So you can easily get more attention there. Nowadays, we also visited a stand of LinkedIn presentation a couple of days ago at the event. And they said that the whole narrative of the content on LinkedIn is moving now into the personal life content. So I've noticed a lot of people share their hobbies, their vacation stories. And recently, LinkedIn also sent me an email inviting me to be one of the first ones to try their new feature, Reels. So they are launching out Reels right now, and they're testing it on a few creators. Oh, wow. I haven't tested it myself because it's only available on the app, and you have to post directly from the app, this feature. And right now we are just scheduling it from our team. So
That's amazing.
I haven't tried it yet. but it's going to have those Reels feature, and I assume it's going to be like a separate tab for Reels and feed. Why? Because it's a huge demand for it on LinkedIn. But it still remains to be like a little bit more polished kind of content, right? So you are still sharing lots of achievements, you sharing event invites, creating that network community of professionals there. And it's a great place to get business and also build your personal brand as an expert.
Yeah.
Another platform that is overlooked and perhaps mostly for e-commerce and businesses that sell products, as well as the services, of course, but primarily for products, I would say Pinterest. It's also great for SEO. It's a great clickbait when people are on the Pinterest, and it's also very good for the small value items, for example. That's why platforms such as Amazon and Temu are doing great there.
Oh, that's so interesting. And how interesting is that for LinkedIn? I mean, that's exactly where your personal branding comes to play again. And lastly, when it comes to posting, I mean, some people say you should post twice a day, like Gary Vee. Other people say you should just post, once or twice a week. Do you think there is a certain technique to it, doing, social media marketing for over 10 years?
Yeah, well, social media. So basically, it depends on your brand and your goals where you want to achieve. So if, like just now, I came back from the meeting with a new fintech bank, digital bank, here in Dubai, and I wouldn't tell them to post every day. Whereas if I talk to you and I need to advise your personal brand, I would say yes, even twice a day.
Okay.
So this depends on that. Second factor is you need to look into your analytics. So you need to try everything and then look into your analytics. What works best? Maybe Mondays work better. So maybe you want to skip the days that work less or post different kind of content then. So you need to look at those analytics and your target audience. Where are they? What do they do on those specific days? So again, it all derives from the study of your audience.
Analyze, get that data, and then it's like completely understandable that each person, each business is different. And then lastly, I'm going to finish off, it's more a statement than a question, but just to let the audience and the people know what you currently have got going on.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot, and hopefully all of this comes very soon. And first of all, my priorities right now are focused on my personal brand and my business agency, right? So I'm saying mostly focus on personal brand because it's a little bit more complex than marketing agency. Marketing agency is very straightforward. Like I know who's the target audience, and people know what marketing agencies do. Whereas with the personal brand, it's more complicated to show this through content, through the communication. Now, those are main priorities right now. So for the business for marketing agency is to grow the presence in the regions we are already to help our clients, and we already have existing clients to grow through the services we provide. And the other projects that rather than that I'm focusing on is I'm looking for investors for a new project here in the Middle East. It's going to be a very interesting marketplace in Dubai. So that's one project I can say so far. And then another one is building a community in the Middle East primarily in the UAE for marketeers. So we are in initial talks with my friends who are also marketing agency and PR agency owners. So we're going to create this kind of community. Probably we're going to start with podcasting and everything. It's like going to be an inclusive marketing society there. And another thing that I've been working on is, of course, the courses. So first course on the personal branding, which is going to be more detailed than just the workshops that I've done before. So it's going to be a course that will be available for everyone online.
Busy woman. I have so much respect. Honestly, that's very, very exciting. I can't wait to see all of this come to life. Well, thank you so much for your time and good luck with all these ventures lying ahead.
Thank you, Bradley. Good luck to you as well.